Hello. So last time we discussed about the Docker volume. So today we are going to talk about the networking in Docker, and we are going to discuss basic how the networking is being configured and how it is being used in Docker. So if we run Docker network ls command, we can see there are three different types. One is bridge, host, and none. So host and none are basically, they are not full-fledged network. They are just used to have the container connected to the Docker daemon. And bridge is exactly a network which is used to connect and have an interconnection between the Docker containers, and each and every container can talk to each other. So what we'll do right now, before we start doing the have the understanding about the none, I'll create a one image, ping image. So I'll create Docker file, Ubuntu run get update run apt get install -y ip utils dot ping and nettools. So this is my Docker file, and I'm going to build the Docker image from this Docker build -t ping 1.0, and from this directory. So I have a ping image created. Now what I'll do, I'll create a simple Docker right now, simple Docker container in detached mode, Docker run -d Ubuntu, or better ping :1.0, and I want to run in bin bash. So I have one Docker container running. So if we look right now the configuration for this one, we can see, we have to inspect this one. We can see while doing the inspection what IP has been assigned to this. It falls into the 172.17.0 segment. So if I look into my network, Docker network bridge configuration, in here we can see that the configuration is 172.17.0.0/26. So this segment has been assigned to this bridge, and when we create Docker container, one of the IP get assigned from this particular segment, and here is the container's name. So if I'll see Docker ps-a, so this is a containers which got connected to this bridge network. And once I connect to this one Docker container, Docker attach, I'm just going to attach to this container D3 one you will see I could able to ping to the google.com. So what if I want to create another network? How do I do? So in order to create the another network, let's take an example, another Ubuntu network. I have to specify dedicated network for some specific project or something. For separate project we can decide. So in my case, I'm just going to create a separate Ubuntu network. So if we see in here, we have a separate Ubuntu network. So if I want to spin up another container, docker run hyphen itd ubuntu, sorry, I'll use ping 1.0 bin bash, then it will go and connect to my bridge network. So in order to have the connection to the Ubuntu network, I have to specify in here that this container need to attach to Ubuntu network. So I have to take network equal to Ubuntu net. Now, if I do the inspection for this particular network, D2, we can see the new container which starts with 47B has been connected to this network, and IP assigned is 172.18.0.2 because the segment assigned to this particular bridge network is 172.18.0.0/16. So I'll just validate the same thing, docker inspect this, and we can see the IP address assigned to this one. Let's get attached to this container, and let me try reaching out to Google. So we can see right now we can reach out to Google from both the bridge network, but the IP assigned to this machine is ifconfig is 172.17.0, and the IP delegated to this is 172.18.0.2. So I'll try to ping from this machine 172.817.0.2. So we'll see we can't communicate. Reason being, in here these two bridge networks are two different islands and they can't communicate. To bridge this one, we have an overlay network concept in containers. So I will talk about our network none. So in none network, if I want to spin up the machine in none, it can't talk to any of the environment. It is assigned with a 44C. If I want to ping to the Google, I can't reach out to 8.8.8 because this is completely isolated environment. It's none, so it can't reach out to anyone. So this is bit about the networking of Docker. We have bridge network, we have overlay network, we have none network, we have host network. Now we want to talk about the host based network. So if we do Docker network ls, we can see we have a bridge, none, and host. We saw the demo of the bridge and none. Now to have the understanding about the host, we can see if we run command docker run in detach mode. I'll give a network host and I'm going to use Nginx. Then it will fetch the image. Now docker ps-a, we can see our Nginx, which is connected on a host network, and if I try to reach out to my network, I can see I can access the Nginx. So we can do one more thing. We can build the image from the last one example which we used. We had our repository in which we created the file, we mounted, and we built this image. So I'm just going to build the image, docker build web colon 1.0 dot. Now we have the image web 1.0. What if I want to run and connect to the Docker host network? Docker run in detach mode. I'm going to run web 1.0, and to run I'll ensure that it attached to network host. In that case, if I come here and I try to access the 5789 port number, I could able to access this machine. So this is not going to the container. It has been returned from the host name Ubuntu 01, not from the container. If in case I run it without host network instead of bridge network, and I use the port 5789 mapping with 5789. Oh, okay, 5789 is already in use by this port. That's why it is showing me an error. So what I'll do, I'll map 1789 to 1790. I'll attach to 1790, and I can see when I access to 1790, in that case it is being fetched from the container not from the host. So this is a difference between the bridge network, host network, and none network. Thank you.